Your greatest enemy is not waiting for you in the shadows of the real world. It is sitting right between your ears, feeding you lies every single second of the day. Your brain. You have been raised to believe that your thoughts are you, that your fears are real, and that your insecurities are facts. You are dead wrong. Your brain is a primitive survival-based machine evolved for the Stone Age. It is not designed to make you a leader, a visionary, or an elite performer. It is designed to keep you safe, comfortable, and mediocre. It is a biological safety mechanism that views growth as a threat and discomfort as a disaster. In psychology, these are called cognitive distortions. These are glitches in your human software that warp your perception of reality until you are living in a mental prison of your own making. 99% of the population will live and die inside that prison because they never learned how to audit their own mind. They think their thoughts are the truth, but in reality, they are just chemical shadows cast by a fearful, ancient brain. If you do not learn to identify these lies, you will remain a puppet to your own biology for the rest of your life. The first and most destructive lie is all-or-nothing thinking, also known as the perfectionist trap. This is the 0 or 100% virus. Your brain tells you that if you are not perfect, you are a total failure. If you do not hit every single mark on your checklist, you might as well have done nothing. You miss one day of your routine, and your brain whispers that the whole week is ruined and you should just quit until next month. This binary thinking is a death sentence for long-term growth. The writer and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius understood this trap better than anyone. In his private journals, known as Meditations, he taught us that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius did not wait for the perfect Roman Empire. He took the chaos of war and plague and turned it into the fuel for his philosophy. He did not demand perfection from himself. He demanded persistence. Writers write, delete the perfect requirement from your system. If you are 1% better than yesterday, you are winning. If you failed today, you reset and win tomorrow. Perfection is a fairy tale used by the weak to justify giving up. It is this level of brutal mental clarity that defines the top 1%. You are watching this because you have decided to stop being a reactor and start being a creator. You are now part of our mission to build a community of 100,000 elite minds, an army of the self-aware who refuse to be manipulated by their own chemistry. We are gathering 100,000 soldiers who have the courage to audit their own minds and purge the lies of the Matrix. If you are ready to reach that 100,000 goal with us, hit that subscribe button right now. Welcome to the elite reality. The second lie is the labeling virus, or overgeneralization. Your brain takes a single, isolated event and turns it into a universal law. You get rejected once, and your brain says, I am always rejected. You lose one investment, and it says, I am bad with money. You are taking a single data point and drawing a permanent line through your entire future. This keeps you small, stagnant, and terrified of trying again. The philosopher of power, Friedrich Nietzsche, taught us about the Übermensch, the man who transcends the common herd and creates his own values. Nietzsche famously wrote, that which does not kill us makes us stronger. A single event is not a lifetime sentence. It is a weight in the gym of life. Writers write, a failure is an event, not an identity. Never say I am a failure. Instead, say I failed at this specific task. Detach your ego from the outcome. Like this video, if you are ready to burn those labels and reclaim your power today, then we have the mental filter, the negativity magnet. Imagine you achieve 9 out of 10 goals. Your brain will delete the 9 wins and magnify the 1 loss until it consumes your entire vision. You are filtering out the sunlight and choosing to live in the shadows. The writer and Navy SEAL David Goggins calls this the cookie jar method. David Goggins teaches that when you are in the heat of battle and your mind is telling you to quit, you must reach into your mental cookie jar and remind yourself of who you are, what you have achieved, and what you have already overcome. If you only audit your mistakes, you are disarming yourself before the war even begins. Writers write, your focus determines your reality. Force your brain to acknowledge your wins to maintain the mental energy required for the mission. Stop jumping to conclusions. This lie comes in two forms: mind reading and fortune telling. You assume people think you are incompetent, or you decide a project will fail before you have even started. You are not a psychic, you are a prisoner of your own assumptions. Robert Greene, in the 48 Laws of Power, reminds us to always understand who you are dealing with. But most people do not even understand themselves. They make decisions based on fantasies, not facts. Writers write, assumptions are the mother of all screw-ups. If you do not have hard data, you do not have a thought, you have a fantasy. Stop guessing and start testing. Share this with a brother who is stuck in his head and unable to move because of false assumptions. The most lethal distortion is catastrophizing, the disaster creator. A minor inconvenience happens, like a late payment or a critical comment, and your brain builds a bridge straight to the apocalypse. You are fighting ghosts. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. You are burning precious mental fuel on a fire that has not even started. Writers write, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, do not give it more than 5 minutes of your worry. Our mission to 100,000 requires soldiers with steady hands, not victims of their own imagination. Do not ever fall for emotional reasoning. I feel like a loser, so I must be one. This is a lie. Your feelings are just chemical weather, not facts. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Nazi death camps, taught us that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Your feelings are the stimulus. Your action is the response. Writers write, feelings are indicators, not dictators. Acknowledge the emotion, but execute the plan anyway. The 1% act in spite of how they feel. Subscribe if you are choosing logic over emotions from this moment forward. Break free from the cage of should statements. I should be further ahead. I should have known better. This is ironclad guilt that paralyzes you. Clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson tells you to compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Should is the language of a victim. Choose is the language of a master. Writers write, replace I should with I choose to. Ownership is the only path to the top. Take ownership of your choices and kill the guilt that is slowing you down. Purge the ego trap of personalization. This is when you take the blame for things you cannot control. The economy, the weather, or other people's bad moods. The Stoic teacher Epictetus taught the dichotomy of control. He said, some things are up to us, and some are not. If you worry about what is not up to us, you are a slave. Writers write, you are only responsible for your effort, not the universe's behavior. Focus 100% of your energy on your own execution. Drop the weight of the world, it is not yours to carry. Share this with someone who is carrying too much of other people's baggage. Finally, fix the funhouse mirror of magnification and minimization. You look at your mistakes through a magnifying glass and your achievements through a telescope turned backward. Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War, said that if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you minimize your strengths, you do not know yourself. You are going into battle unarmed and blind. Writers write, maintain a brutal, objective audit. Acknowledge your wins to build the confidence needed for the next battle. Analyze your losses to build the competence needed to win the war. To destroy these 9 lies forever, you need to implement the elite interrogation protocol. Every time a soul-crushing negative thought enters your mind, do not believe it. Interrogate it like a lying witness in a courtroom. Ask, where is the objective evidence? Is this a fact or just a chemical feeling? Is this thought helping the 100,000 mission, or is it a distraction? Demand the truth from your own mind. This was video 19. The walls of your mental prison are starting to crumble. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. If you are committed to mastering your mind and becoming a weapon for this mission, I want you to comment, "My mind, my weapon," below. It lets me know who is truly paying attention. Like this video to signal your commitment. Share it to help another brother break his chains. Subscribe to stay in the 1%.